is poppin'? Real Ninja Reviews family. I am hyped for today because we are doing our weekly Jujutsu Kaisen, baby. The chapter is chapter 234. I am hyped for this chapter. How this chapter starts with Yuta saying that he will join the battle to go help Gojo in the 3 versus 1 situation. And Kashimo tells Yuta not to interfere, and he also tells Yuta it's not him that has to go next. It's Kashimo himself, not Yuta. And Hikari asks Yuta to calm down because he's explaining to Yuta that Satoru asked them to jump in when he's gotten weaker than the students. But Yuta rebukes this, saying that because Sukuna cannot use his domain expansion, him and Rika can take out the 2 shikigamis to make this an even fight. But Maki joins the conversation and tells Kashima, who says screw you to Maki, that he shouldn't forget his role. And then she tells Yuta that if he gets defeated, then some of the backup plan that they have is gone. And Yuta reaffirms his point by saying that they should take this gamble and win against Sukuna so they don't need a backup plan at all. And Yuji agrees with Yuta, saying that Yuta should go out there. But our boy Kusakabe tells them that Yuta and Yuji that they don't understand a thing. And Mei explains that Sukuna and Satoru have 2 different conditions on victory. Satoru has to just beat Sukuna, while if Sukuna beats Satoru, well, he has to continue to fight with no breaks because the students will then join the battle. Plus, Kusakabe explains that Gojo fighting by himself with no hindrance is the best possible outcome of victory. Yuta sulks, thinking that he's becoming a hindrance, while Kashimo pretty much tells Yuta that it's not the point. The modern sorcerers don't get it. This is Satoru Gojo's fight, and it would be lame for them to interfere in this fight. Also, Hikari tells them about the trump card that Sukuna may possibly have, and that if they do jump into the fight, Sukuna will use his trump card, which then we switch back to the strongest fight possible, where Satoru evades Agito's and Maharaga's attacks, and he lands a black flash on Agito, which still tells us that he's still in the zone when he's landing that fight, because Black Flash is equivalent to an athlete being in the zone, getting hot. That's what our boy Satoru is doing right now. But even though it does damage, Agito heals quickly, and then he attacks Gojo with his tail, which ends up getting ripped off. But Agito heals quickly. Gojo then deduces that Agito is made up of Nue, the serpent, the morning tiger, and the round deer. And the morning tiger is the 10th Shikigami, who we haven't physically seen, which tells us that Megami probably didn't tame this creature or just didn't use it for whatever reason. But what I find interesting about Satoru's thought process is that he says that Agito has not adapted to Infinity yet. So that makes me to believe that Morning Tiger has the ability to adapt like Maharaga, but Gojo plans to take out Agito in one shot. While Maharaga throws some bricks at Satoru and attacks him, Gojo invades and kicks him out the way. Gojo also is thinking about how troublesome Agito is, because if all y'all remember, the round deer has reverse curse technique, so he can heal Sukuna while Sukuna's energy reverse curse technique is on the decline, but he can heal him as a backup support. And so Gojo was like, I have to get rid of this guy. Meanwhile, Sukuna is hiding in the shadows. He's hiding and thinking of a plan to stop Gojo from using his purple. And if y'all remember in the last chapter, in chapter 233, Gojo has stated that Sukuna is not prioritizing the adaptation of the limitless red and is focusing more on relentless attacking. And we also get the thought process of Sukuna when he said that when Gojo blasted the purple before and he really couldn't handle it, it was just that because it was so far away, that's the only reason why he was able to get his arm blown off, which means that distance plays a role in how powerful purple is. So the longer it goes down, the weaker it gets. So that's pretty cool. Also, he taunts Mahoraga, telling him how long he's going to make me wait, and that you are my shadow, Mahoraga, not Megami Fushigoro's. That interesting thing is, Mahoraga will spins again, and then he just cuts off Satoru's arm. What makes me think that he can use Dismantle now because he is the shadow of Sukuna. So I think he can adapt to his master's curse technique normally. So if they have another curse technique, he can utilize that. That's what it looks like because he ends up slashing Sukuna's arm. And all the other sorcerers are confused and panicking. And Sukuna's praising Mahoraga for cutting off Satoru's arm. Shoko pretty much screams that with Gojo's reverse curse technique on the decline, this is not good for our boy. And Sukuna ends up coming out of his shadow and attacks Satoru and kicks him towards Agito. And Agito lands a punch on Gojo's head, and you could see that it wasn't that effective. And you see that now he's in his berserker look, something that we haven't seen in a while. And he pretty much talks some trash to Agito, telling him that he's not worthy to be in this fight. And then with one hit, he trashes Agito using his blue maximum output, and Agito's the attraction point, and it completely obliterates Agito, which is crazy. And then in 41 seconds, purple enters the battle. That's crazy. So after he destroys that, he just used hollow purple just that fast. And you can see that he's regrowing his arm, so he's probably using a lot more. So his reverse cartoon probably dipped a little bit more because, as you see, he's regrowing it a little bit. And then he probably used hollow purple. I think that Sukuna is going to use Mahoraga as a shield and jump into the shadows. So I think Mahoraga is next to be destroyed. But in the process of destroying Mahoraga, that leaves Satoru vulnerable to an open attack because he's exhausted. He's exhausted half of his curse techniques reserves. So this battle could go anywhere. But it's very clear to me that Satoru is going to lose this fight because we have not seen Sukuna's trump card. Now, I thought he was going to use his trump card against Satoru, but he might not. He might use his trump card on the students instead because they're going to come down to help Satoru if he doesn't die or get knocked unconscious. Whichever one, but Sukuna's trying to kill Satoru. So either way, I think that the students is going to fight and it's going to be an all-out war. And there's no break next week, so I am truly excited. And if you guys enjoy some more Jujutsu Kaisen content, hit that subscribe button for your boy. Also, leave a like button. I want to hear your thoughts on this chapter. Did you love this chapter? Hate this chapter? And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out, y'all.